Let's talk about the GOP candidates, people. Since I just got done blasting Hillary and working on a little bit of memory from history, now I cannot possibly talk about all of the GOP candidates because the potential list is just too damn huge. And to actually speak knowledgeably on all of them would require a lot more research than I have time for. Now, I will admit I'm down with Cruz. Ted Cruz right now, best potential candidate. I'm definitely backing him 100%. He's not my first choice. My first choice would be General James Mattis, United States Marine Corps, retired. Mattis is the man. Right now, the country needs someone like him more than any other candidate on the field, period. But Mattis, I think he's had enough of DC, and trust me, when you run to the West Coast to get away from DC, you've had enough of DC. But I like Cruz. Cruz is my first choice. He is intelligent, he is articulate, he is patient. He doesn't allow the left to trap him. If you ever watch it, they always attack him when he's not there. Anytime they try to corner him and attack him, one on one, reporters, he deflects it. He just calmly, nonchalantly deflects it. He does not lose control of himself. He does not come off as elitist. He does not allow the press to get under his skin, which is why I don't support Rand. But I will get back to that after I'm done praising Cruz. Now, there's also the weapon in Cruz's arsenal that we are just now becoming aware of as not quite low information crowd, as Rush likes to say, but not an insider. And that is Heidi Cruz, his wife. Before Cruz announced, before this year, the only thing I knew about his wife was that she's a vegetarian. And the reason why I knew that was because all of a sudden the drive-by media attacked her for being a vegetarian. And I was like, wait a minute, aren't you part of the same group of idiots that love vegetarians and vegans and all the rest of them? And now, because there's a right wing vegetarian, you're going to jump up and down, yelling and screaming about her? Talk about hypocrisy. But she is actually an amazingly competent woman. And I'm surprised we haven't heard a lot more about her. She was on Bush's Security Council, a W. That was, and it was Cruz met her during Bush election campaign. That was how they met. And you can't remember, debate champion of Princeton, graduated with honors at Harvard. Dershowitz said he's the most brilliant person he's ever encountered. Cruz was intimidated by her. I can't remember how many days he said it took before he actually got up the courage to talk to her and ask her out, which is adorable. I'm sorry, there's no other way to put it. So she worked at Goldman Sachs. She was a director, I'm sorry, on the W Security Council. This is a woman that has skills. This is a woman that will, no matter whether you want to admit it or not, a spouse is the confidant of their spouse. They are the person you will talk to. You will tell your deepest secrets, your deepest concerns. You will talk to them about almost everything. Someone like her makes the Cruz campaign a very heavy, hard-hitting 1-2 punch. So now I'll talk about Rand Paul. I'm not a Paul fan. I definitely don't like his daddy, and I have to admit that I was biased against him when he became a senator. But he has done better as a senator than I expected, and I'm willing to admit that. He might even be a pretty damn good senator. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm still withholding judgment. Of course, I don't follow his career and his voting record with a magnifying glass. But recently, two videos I've seen after the Savannah, whatever the hell her last name is, incident, I watched it. I thought it was funny. It didn't bother me that much. He did not handle it correctly, though. He should have just let her go the hell off and then go, "Are you done? Are you actually asking me a question? Or are you promoting your particular political agenda? If you would like to play reporter or political pundit, let me know so I can respond appropriately." But he didn't handle it that way. He got into a little thing where he was trying to talk over her. And I also saw another video from CNBC, I believe it was, where he got into it with Kelly Evans, I believe her name was. Really didn't get into it with her, but he kept on shushing her. So, shh, 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 shh. And I understand shushing the leftist media, and I could appreciate that fact. The only problem was the people are watching these interviews. And if you're shushing the person doing the interview, it's almost like you're shushing me while I'm watching the interview. Now, that may not be the intention, and it may have been directed, it was directed directly at the reporter, but it can come off that way. And he's losing control of the interview. He's not deflecting these aggravating situations much like Ted Cruz can. I do not think he will do well in the GOP debates when he's facing Cruz. I really don't think he will do well. And I still have my concerns because of I'm worried about how much he's like his daddy, because I really don't like his daddy, and I know a lot of people that are related to my Twitter account love his daddy. More power to you. I hate his daddy. But we'll go on from Paul. I'm not he's not on the bottom of the list. Jeb, Christie, and Peter King are on the bottom of my list. There is no way in hell I would ever vote for Jeb Bush, Chris Christie, or Peter King. It's not going to happen. No way. I would turn around and vote for Ron Paul as a libertarian candidate before I'd vote for any one of those three stooges. But let's go on to Rubio. Rubio is actually tied with Rand at the bottom of my list. Well, above those three stooges. Marco. Excuse me. What in the hell are you thinking? You actually got made a fool of. And I'm not talking about the water bottle incident. The water bottle incident, please. You know, just like I had coughing and I got my sody pop right here. There we go. Diet Mountain Dew scandal. No. Gang of 8. You were made a fool of. You actually created a bill which gives everything that everyone wants, and guess what happens when you do that? No one is happy. You're supposed to be Speaker of the House in Florida, state legislature. You should know better. You can't do that, dog. And despite your good speech, throwing in all the little hints about Hillary and attacking her without naming her, very well played, still, I think you got some growing up to do, Marco. I know that doesn't necessarily sound appropriate, and I'm not sure how many years I have on you, but I have a few. And yes, I don't have experience in politics, but stay in the Senate, maybe take a position within the next administration. I don't know what you'd be qualified for, but call me in 20 years because 2016 is not your year. I just have too many hesitations, too many deep seated concerns about you. I think your concept of uniquely qualified is traditionally backwards. So work on your message, work on yourself before you try to say you are the face for America. Now, if I had to choose between him and Rand Paul, I do not know how that one would go. Sorry. Right now, they're both tied. Dr. Ben Carson. I like Dr. Carson. I really do. He created himself. He came from one of the worst possible situations and he lifted himself up. He became something that is truly respected, and he stayed humble at the same time. He's kept his faith, he's kept his heart all in the right place. That being said, he's not a politician. That debacle about men going to prison straight and coming out gay, I think you need to work on your message, Dr. Ben. You really allowed that interviewer to corner you and trap you in an illogical argument. This is just the road bumps you have to go over, making an ass of yourself, so you will learn how to properly handle the media. You're making the same mistake every Republican does once they get elected or in the process of trying to get elected. They see the media as their friend. They fall for it. The media does it. The media is not your friend. They are just waiting for the opportunity to stab you in the back because they hate you. They hate you because you're a Christian. They hate you because you're a conservative. They hate you because you do not follow their politically correct liberal dogma BS. So, Dr. Carson, I like you. However, I do not know if you'll do very well in the debates. I do not know. I don't know if you can draw the blood. You are just so kind hearted, so humble that when you try to come off as being willing to make the tough decisions, I understand as a medical doctor, a professional, you have to make those tough decisions on who lives and who dies. But you just don't push that persona. The United States, the American people, they want somebody like Chesty Puller, that's not only going to decide who lives and dies, but they're going to take out the person that's supposed to die in hand-to-hand combat. Now, that simple fact, I'm sure, will upset everyone in the left because they want a gentler, kinder America. Well, we wouldn't be the world's 800-pound gorilla, the baddest, the only superpower on this planet if we were giant, if we were gentler and kinder. So, as the left makes the United States gentler and kinder, we become weaker because the world is not a happy place. And the sooner these idiots on the left learn it, the sooner we can go on to kicking ass and being respected. Because that's what you have to do. Walk softly, carry a big stick. Teddy Roosevelt said it best. You don't have to turn around and tear down the forest. You don't have to go through South America kicking the shit out of everyone. But when you need to, you pull out that stick and you thrash them within an inch of their life. And then you turn around and walk away. Guarantee you they'll think twice before they mess with you again. Now, who other candidates do we have? Now, Carly Fairleon. I'm going to have to learn to say her name if she actually is to be taken serious. I've heard good things about her. I haven't had a chance to find any of these videos, but they say she's not the same person as was in the McCain campaign. So, I have to say, I'm curious. I'm interested. If this is true, if she's actually tearing up the West Coast, I want to find out more about her. I want to see some of these videos. Because I have no problem with a woman being president. As long as she can do the job. I don't care. I don't care what your race is. I don't care what your sex is. I worry about your qualifications. I worry about your ability to handle the pressure of the job. As long as you can convince me of that, you can get my vote. As long as I can trust you to defend the Constitution and do what is right to where the country will have a future and not end up bankrupt before my life ends. Which won't be too long because of the smoking thing in the previous video, but still. You have to be able to guarantee me the country will last at least 20 damn years. That's all I want. 20 years. I want the next president to be able to put forth an agenda that will guarantee we will still be not only in existence, but that 800-pound gorilla for 20 years. Now, I'm sure that I've forgotten many candidates. And there's some that I really just can't take serious anymore, like Donald Trump. Donald, what are you thinking? You're breaking out the birther argument for Ted Cruz? Did you break out the birther argument for McCain? Oh, I understand the birther argument for Obama, but sorry to be perfectly honest, the law as it has been interpreted by the Supreme Court states that as long as one parent was a citizen at birth of the child is considered a natural born U.S. citizen. John McCain was a natural born U.S. citizen when he was born in Panama, Canal Zone. Obama was a natural born traitorous citizen because unfortunately his mother was a citizen. Now maybe McCarthy should have stripped her of citizenship, but that's a different argument. So he was a natural born citizen no matter where the hell he was born. Cruz was a natural born citizen. His mother, maybe the law actually says that one of the parents had to be a citizen at birth. I believe that's the way the law was interpreted. I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me right now. But Cruz was a natural born citizen. His mother was a citizen. She's born in Delaware, if I remember correctly. So, Donald, if only thing you can do is attack every other candidate, or in this case, the most dangerous candidate, sorry, dog, I'm losing respect for you. And besides, with the way you like to carry debt in your organizations, your companies, to where how many times has Trump declared bankruptcy? I know you haven't personally, but your companies have declared bankruptcy to reorganize because you like to carry a lot of debt. You like to take those risks. And I'm sorry, our problem as a country is the debt. We can't reorganize. We have to pay it off, because if we don't figure out a way to pay it off, then what's going to happen is we're going to end up with inflation, and it's going to destroy the middle class. It's going to destroy and when I mean middle class, that it will destroy, I'm talking about the entrepreneurial class. So we're not just talking about people that make a few $100,000 a year. We're talking about people with net worth in the low millions, and they will be destroyed. Their ability to create jobs will be nothing other than any personal skill and ability and desire that they have. But they won't have the wealth anymore. They will be thrown back to starting from scratch. Now, some of them may enjoy that challenge, but I don't think the majority of people that work their entire lives to build up something so that they could retire and live comfortably will appreciate that fact. So we actually need to gain control and have a sustainable model. And I just don't trust someone who has declared bankruptcy multiple times to keep his business upon a sustainable model. Now, I'm sure I forgot your candidates, and there are still many more candidates to come, but there's a short summary of 8, 9, 8, something like that, 9. Oh well, look forward to the fun. Much love to all. And to all of you on the left, I didn't mean any love for you. You know what you get right there.